Hello once again. I haven't done any of these for a long time, but it's about time I did, because there's something to say. Many of you know me. Some are embarrassed by me, but I don't care particularly. I hide nothing, and I'm as honest as I can be. I've been there, done it all, and got thousands of t-shirts to prove it, including this one, which some people say is for a teenager. That's fine, that's okay, because inside I still feel whatever I want to be, even though I'm seen as an old man. Just don't be fooled by numbers. Like anyone who is old, I hold all my ages from birth to now inside, and I choose from which I want. And during my life, I've made many mistakes and suffered the consequences, as do we all. That's life. Love it while you still can. But most importantly, these t-shirts I hold in a special memory for me. I have 3 others very similar to this one, and I wore them constantly on my adventures in Finland, sailing the Baltic Sea aboard Kalimera as second mate, and we travelled right up as far as Russia. And I owe my friends a great deal of gratitude for that, and I will be eternally grateful to all of them. But whatever happened in Finland stays in Finland. A very mysterious place of forests and its beautiful secrets. My heart and spirit will always remain there forever. So, hello once again from my home in war-torn Britain. And make no mistake, we are at war. A war of attrition in this country run by donkeys. We are being ground down on all sides by constant propaganda. So we don't know whether we are on our elbows or arses. And as always, the first casualty of war is always the truth, always has been. But some of us are very aware of what is going on, and simply because we've travelled the same road but didn't pay attention to our peers at the time, and most certainly regret it, like most other people, I've worked all my life and provided as best I could, and maybe spent too much time in the pub. But at times we all need a crutch. I paid my dues and I paid my taxes, followed the rules, mostly, and I listened to the snake oil salesman and paid them, and I paid the price for losing half of my pension to clever but crooked men who now live in comfort off the proceeds of their ill-gotten gains. But they would die just like the rest of us. Now I sit up and I pay attention because I see what's coming. And we live in a world of Lotus Eaters. What are Lotus Eaters? Lotus Eaters are people who spend their time indulging in pleasure and luxury rather than dealing with practical concerns. This especially applies to politicians of all persuasions, bar just a tiny few honourable people who also know the score. Being a politician in many cases is just a way of getting rich very quickly and then indulge their newfound wealth in their pig trough of ignorance, arrogance and greed. Gone are the days of statesmen who stood for our countries first and foremost. Gone are the selfless individuals who devoted their lives for the people. They've gone to graveyards, everyone, and I'm pretty sure that if they could look down on this modern catastrophe of a world, they wouldn't just turn in their graves, they would spin like a top with absolute rage. And many empires over the millennium have fallen by the wayside because of Lotus Eaters. And like Nero, they watch as Rome burns and couldn't give a fig. Our world has always been a savage place, but today it's compounded by many factors that have happened in the last 4 years. Just take stock of what has actually happened and is still happening right now. We have an apparent ferocious malady which divided people into two groups: those who complied and those who didn't. And if you didn't comply, then you were attacked from all sides without any mercy whatsoever, even to the extent of jailing us and even refusing medical care in some cases. And the majority of people today want to forget about it and put it to rest. But I can remember many of the cruel remarks and actions by prominent people, along with many celebrities, which I will never ever forget, because that cut was deep and vicious. And also those who chose not to obey some very stupid rules at that particular time. And now the geese are laying the eggs that no one wants to eat. And then came along a war that had nothing whatsoever to do with us, and yet our political masters disagreed and sided with America and brought the Five Eyes Alliance and Europe into the arena. And the rest, my friends, is history. Now that war is virtually over. and the same people who flew that blue and yellow flag are now flying the flag which is a tricolour of 3 equal horizontal stripes overlaid by a red triangle. And most people don't even realise the irony of this. And people just support what is fashionable or just comply with the herd without even thinking about it. And taking sides in any war is never a wise decision. But the line in the sand must be drawn. When babies, children and women are being systematically slaughtered. And the pictures are there to be seen on the internet, and I can assure you they are sickening. Countries worldwide are calling out for a ceasefire, but no one is actually stepping up to the plate. No one is actually doing anything, just talking. It's not enough. The Arab countries could put an embargo on oil to stop the flow to the west. Close the Suez Canal. That would have a great effect. But no, they don't want to do that. Obviously, money is more important than women and children. And it makes me sick and makes me very angry indeed. And the only country genuinely standing for the oppression in the Middle East is Ireland. And they most certainly know all about colonialism from England's violent and checkered past. And it still goes on today as a political pawn in Europe. And many Americans are proud of their Irish roots, but is America still a force to reckon with? It's most certainly questionable. And is it just my imagination, or is America, along with the supporters, being destroyed from within? Make no mistake, whatever America does will drag us all into the same swamp And as always, the really clever ones will be waiting to take over. And I never mentioned the real evil one in this mix, Sir Anthony Charles Linton Blair and his band of outlaws. They are waiting in the background, that is for certain, and God help us all from that. Wake up and smell the bullshit. It gets deeper and deeper every day. And today, I've just heard that David Cameron has been made the Foreign Secretary. You remember David Cameron, he gave us the vote for Brexit, and it backfired a little bit on him. And am I surprised that he's been made Foreign Secretary? No, not at all. He's just another one of the globalists put in place to follow whatever agenda they all have planned in the future. My advice is do not trust any of them, because they will confuse you with global issues that are nothing more than total control for them over us. Remember and take heed of Shakespeare play, Julius Caesar and the Ides of March. Not just a play, but a definite warning to mankind. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.